lectionary is divided into 3 years for solemnities, 2 years on a weekday, but 3 years on a solemnity, which allows us to look in more detail at different accounts of the Gospels. And so in year C, where we are today, we have not only Luke's account from the Acts of the Apostles, but also his account at the conclusion, as it says, of the Holy Gospel according to Luke. The conclusion, then, of the story, one might say. And across these readings, then, we're directed to something that is peculiar to Luke, from the Acts, but also from the Gospel, and that is the 2 men that appear to speak to the disciples. Not only, though, do the 2 men appear at the Ascension, but they also appear for Luke at the resurrection. And the question they have for the disciples is the same. What are you looking at? There's nothing here. In the account of the resurrection, these men say, "Why do you seek the living among the dead?" And in the Acts of the Apostles, they ask them, "Why do you stand looking into heaven?" In other words, there is nothing to see here. This isn't where the action is. It's perhaps not then an accident also that Luke's Gospel is the one that speaks of 70 or 72, depends on how you read it, being sent before the Lord 2 by 2, wherever he is about to go. As Jesus concludes his words to the disciples at the conclusion of Luke, repentance for the forgiveness of sins should be proclaimed in his name to all nations, beginning from Jerusalem. Here, then, is where the action is. Jesus is with them for the salvation of the world. And they worshipped him and returned to Jerusalem with great joy. They're not sad he's gone, because he hasn't gone. They returned to Jerusalem with great joy and were continually in the temple, blessing God. So this is where the message of the conclusion of the story and the beginning of the story in these 2 books of Luke lies. Don't stare into the heavens. Bring Christ to the ends of the earth.